name's Itcha Queen Bee. Halloween is my favorite holiday. I love fall. I love summer because it's like hot and I love the hot, but I do love fall because it's just so pretty and it's just like, it's nice. Illinois is like really weird. Sometimes we have a really hot fall. Sometimes it's like freezing. It's worse than winter. Our weather is just weird. I don't know if it's like that for everyone, but I mean, every time I travel somewhere, it's like nice and decent. Otherwise, it's like raining and gross and whatever. But Illinois being here, it's like nothing is ever like set in stone. Like winter is never going to be like cold. It's either going to be like doesn't snow till like February, or it just snows from like August to November and doesn't even hit December. Like it's so crazy. But yeah, Halloween's my favorite holiday besides Christmas. Like Christmas is a close second. And yeah, I mean I really don't care about Thanksgiving. I can see my family anytime. And I really don't eat the food during Thanksgiving because I don't eat turkey. And Halloween is just, it's amazing because you get to dress up. And I just love that. So I dress up all the time, like from a little kid to like, you know, last year whenever I was a senior in high school. I have dressed up every single year I can. Unfortunately, I will not be here for Halloween. This is a pre-recorded video, like you guys know. And I hate it so much, but that's life. I guess this Halloween I'll be dressed up as a little army man, which is fine. And, yeah, couldn't have it any other way. So, my freshman year, I have a story for you guys. Halloween is my favorite holiday, like I've already said, and I didn't think anything could ever ruin it for me. I was wrong. I remember freshman year, I was with my abusive ex, and we had planned to go trick-or-treating together, and his parents always have to sabotage my life, and I really didn't care at this point. I was like, whatever, and I was like, just kind of rolling with the punches, and it was when I was starting to talk to my, dumb ex. He wasn't abusive or anything, he was just like, never really there for me mentally and physically, and just like, he wasn't supportive, just my ex. So, it was when I started talking to him, and I was like, still dating the bad one, and then talking to the okay one, well, the lackluster one. Besides all that, just to know where my timeline is for you guys, we go and we're playing Halloween, and I already knew what I was going to wear, and I remember wearing, it was a schoolgirl costume from an anime, and it was not flattering. I remember being like, oh yeah, it looks so cool. And then, my self-esteem went way down throughout the night. It was just awful. So, of course, we get to go to school in our outfits. And I went to school in mine. Everyone was like, oh my god, you look so good. And I'm like, thanks, girl. Like, thanks, And then I get to his house because his mom picked us up or something like that. I can't remember what happened. But we get to his house. And his mom, we're sitting down in the living room watching TV, and his dad's, like, watching a porn movie. Like, it is more than rated R. It's, like, rated XXX, like, not a good movie. And I was just, like, staring at my little flip phone, like, someone please text me. And I was, like, trying so hard not to look at him or the TV, and I was like, I hate this. I want to go home. Please, Mom, text me. Say that you need me home. Please, something happen. And nothing happened. So, his sister's getting dressed. She dressed up as like a pirate. He dressed up as a knight. And I was, anime schoolgirl. Yeah. We were going to correspond outfits. But, his mom was like, no, that looks trashy. And looked me up and down and was like, yeah, that looks trashy. And I'm like, thanks. So, my bar of self-esteem has lowered a little bit. And then his dad's like, before anyone could even really get my outfit, like, he already knew what it was, like, the ex at the time, or, yeah, that guy, his dad was like, oh, I know what you are, and told me the exact thing I was, and I was like, wow, you're either a very strange man that watches really, like, just kids shows, or you're, like, a pervert that watches other things, and he was like, and he was watching that, and I was like, I can put two to two together. It was bad. It was a bad time. So, again, my self-esteem and my confidence was, like, plummeting very slowly. And, yeah. So, for some reason, her friend comes And then he has a little brother, by the way, too. I can't remember what he dressed up as, but it's like all four of us and her friend for some reason just show up there. And his mom is like, hey, we're going to go to the movies and we're going to watch a horror movie. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome. I can't remember what horror movie was even playing back then, like at that time, but I remember being like, oh, I want to go see this one. Or maybe it was like a comedy or something. It was something completely different than what we watched. We watched this movie, I think it was called The Book of Life, and it's a good movie, but watching it with him, I was like, I kind of wish I could die right now and just like be in that world instead of this one. And it was awful. And I remember before we even got there, she was like, okay, so no one's gonna get popcorn, and I was like, okay, that's fine. And then the friend was like, what if I brought my own money? And she was like, oh, no, it's fine. We can pay for that. And I was like, well, I brought my own money too, but I wasn't going to say anything. So I was just thinking, okay, well, I can just sneak that by just with my own money. And when we get there, the friend of the sister buys popcorn. And, I guess they went halvesies on it or something. I don't even know if they did. I just know the girl whipped out some money, handed it, got popcorn, and they were both eating it, and the girl really didn't mind. So, like, oh, that's fun, that's nice. I would share popcorn with my friend. I get there, and I pay for my popcorn. I get a little medium one, and, it's kind of cheaper, and smalls are just a ripoff, way too small. So I get a medium, and the mother takes it out of my hand, hands it to the guy, and was like, okay, so are you going to get yourself some? I looked at her, and I was like, that was mine. And she was like, no, that's his. And I was like, that was my money. And she was like, okay, go along. And I was like, what? And she's like, you're holding up the line. And I'm like, what about my popcorn? And she was like, I'll get you a drink. And I'm like, but I wanted my popcorn with my money. What's going on? And this has happened before, but for some reason, because the friend was there, I was like, you're really going to do this again? And of course, he ate all the popcorn before we even got to the theater. And I was like, wow, that's so great. I didn't get any popcorn, not even a freaking little tiny bit. So mad. And we watched the movie, and oh my god, he was being inappropriate with me the whole time. And I was like, I wanted to leave. I was really hoping that they would stick, like, the little brother in between us. But they've done that before, and he was still gross. And I was like, okay, I don't want to subject the little brother to it. So I was like, fine, I'll just sit next to him. And it was awful because we sat in front of the parents, mind you. All of the kids sat in front and the parents sat behind. And they just let him do what he was doing to me. And I was like, you people are sick. So I just was like, I want to go home. And I kept trying to like get up to go to the bathroom just so I don't have to be there. And they kept saying, like, sit down, you don't need to go. I'm like, you don't know. And I was like about to say, oh, well, I'm on my period, I'm bleeding, or just something like that, so where I could leave. And they were like, no, if you're bleeding, like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wow, like, you guys know how my body works. That's great. I'm so glad someone else knows exactly what I need at this specific moment. I was so mad. And I was like, I'm being harassed, I am being abused, and no one's stopping it. And of course, we were like the only people in the theater, because no one's going to go to a theater on Halloween, especially that early. Like, maybe, I don't know, if it was a kid's movie, so I was like, whatever. So I was trying to watch the movie and just be in the movie and not be anywhere else. And, yeah, that didn't work, because I remember just, like, trying so hard to just leave, and it didn't work. And I just was very sad. So, we finally get out of the movie theater, and it's like later, not much later, but then we're like, okay, we're gonna go into town. And my town, by the way, they live in a completely different town, which I have no idea why the school still let him go to my school. I have no idea, because he lived closer next to the other school, and every time I brought that up, they were like, well, he's on our football team, so he doesn't do anything. It sucked. It really, really sucked. And as you can tell, everything was just lowered. And by the time I got out of the movie theater, without my popcorn and with everything that happened, I was like, wow, I am just a pancake on the ground right now. I hate this. And I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry so bad, and I just was trying hard not to, because I knew that if anything happened, they would just make it worse. So we go and we went trick-or-treating, and I had my own basket. I mean, I had a Walmart bag. I had a couple in my purse, and I don't know. I had my Walmart bag, and like I had some in my purse. We go up to the house, get some candy, and turn around. She grabs my Walmart bag, and the mom, by the way, grabs my Walmart bag, gives it to her littlest kid, and says, "You're too old for trick-or-treating." And I said, "I'm the same age as your oldest boy. Why are you letting us trick-or-treat together if you think I'm too old? Even though we're the same age, I'm just a couple months older." And I said, "But we're the same age." And she was like, "Yeah, well, you're supposed to be more mature." And I was like, why would you try to hold me up to higher than your kids? You know what I mean? Like, it just didn't make sense to me. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I grabbed the other bag that was in my purse, and she thought that I had stolen one of the other kids' bags. And she was like, "No, you don't get a bag." So I just kept putting the candy in my purse and another bag. I had like 5 bags of me because I wanted to get my candy. I wanted some candy, okay? So I come prepared always because I normally go with my parents and like other friends, and we always get multiple bags, put them in the car, and just that way we can have more than just one Walmart bag of candy. Obviously. Oh my gosh. This woman finally figured out that I was putting candy in my purse from the people from the doors, not from any of the others. And she was like, "I want to see what's in the bag." And I was like, "No." So I didn't let her get in my purse. She tried grabbing my purse from me, and I was like, "No, I don't want you having my purse." We were playing tug of war in the street with my purse, and I was like, "I will walk away right now. I will call the cops, and I will just leave." That didn't scare her at all. She was like, basically was like, "Bet you won't." And I'm like, "You were a baby." So I was like, "I don't have any candy." And she was like, "Whatever." So I just finally stopped going up there. And I was like, I'll just walk. I'll just walk with you guys. That's it. That's fine. So I just walked with them, and I was like, "I guess I'm not going to get any candy." And I kept saying, "Wow, you got candy?" And at first I was like, I'm going to be snarky about it. And I just started I didn't say anything afterwards. I was just so defeated. And I just felt like I was lower than the concrete at this point. I was like, there's nothing I can say or do that will make this better. I'm done. We get in the car, and we're going to like a different road or something. And I remember she parked like out by someone's house or something that she knew. She went inside, and the sister and like the brother were in the car with us. And the parents went inside. And again, he was in the back of the car, just like grabbing me, and I was like, "We're in front of your friggin' little kid, like siblings." And he was like, "Oh, it's okay." And she just like, I remember the sister turned around, and she was just like, "If you scream or do anything, I'll tell Mom." And I was like, why are you people letting this happen to me? What is so wrong about me? Like, what? If you don't like me, don't invite me to these things. And I found out later on why they would do it. Is because I knew that he would never find anyone. And I was a sucker that was like, "Oh, did you, blah, blah, blah." And it was just, it sucked. So as I was getting abused the whole night, and just, it sucked. I just remember going home, crying. My mom asked me, "Where's your candy?" And I was like, I don't even want my candy anymore. So I just like pulled the bag out of my purse, I gave it to her, and I'm like, I'm done. I went to my room and I just cried, and I don't even think I even got up that morning until like noon, and I never used to sleep in that late, and I just was defeated, and I don't know what else to say. It sucked. And I could go into way more detail and tell you guys the rest of the story, but I'm just going to leave it as to that for now, because I don't want the story to be downing, but I am telling this story for a reason. Please be careful who you hang out with this holiday. Like, I don't know if this will come out before Halloween. Hopefully it does. But be safe. I mean, people suck. Just don't go out with the bad people. And just don't harass people like that. And just be careful. I mean, don't eat open candy. If people give you cookies, don't eat them. And, yeah. With all that being said, just be safe for me, please, and thank you. I love you guys. Make sure to give this video a like. Make sure to comment down below if you're going trick-or-treating this year. Make sure to comment down below if you're going trick-or-treating this year. I want to know. And, make sure to be safe, please. And, make sure to, did I already say like and subscribe and check out my social medias? If I didn't, then go ahead and do that. And, yeah, so from me to you, be safe, please. I love you guys. And, thanks for stopping by. Love you.